Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, we're looking at forced isolation. Forced isolation may be the only way to stop the resurgence of the virus. According to MSN News, which is powered by Microsoft News, over at Bloomberg, this is an article that was released in the mainstream media, and it's about forcing isolation. Maybe the only way to stop the resurgence of the virus. Now, if you was listening to Mike from around the world last night in the interview I did on our broadcast, you may want to go back and listen to that interview because he talks about forced isolation, and he talks about citizen containment, and he talks about even relocation. Okay, so understand that in perspective. He also mentions what's called the Emergency Powers Act. The Emergency Powers Act. I'll tell you more about this. I'm going to read this article for you by Bloomberg. But first, let me put a shout out real fast to, let me just say, I really love this. This is really pretty kind of cool, actually. It's Ship Me Jesus. Give me Jesus. Okay, give me Jesus. Actually, guys, there is Keep Jesus. There's a Jesus coin. It's really cool. And when I got this and they told me about it, I said, are you serious? Yes, Jesus on the, and the Lord's Supper is on the back. And here's what's amazing. And Jesus on the front. And this coin is free. This coin is free. Now, here's what you need to do. It's called the Last Supper free coin giveaway. It's a Jesus coin. Keep Jesus with you wherever you go with a limited edition of 2020 Christ the Last Supper coin. Okay? Christ, there's the Last Supper. Christ the Last Supper coin. And you can have this, guys, I think is really kind of cool. The limited edition coin is highly sought after and is being given away completely free until it runs out. All you got to do is pay for the shipping because these coins are free. They're going to go fast, so hurry. Get yours while you still can. Get your own 2020 Christ the Last Supper coin. All right? And what you do is you go to www.sendmejesus.com. All right? Just www.sendmejesus.com. I'll say it one more time. www.sendmejesus.com and request this free coin. All you get is pay for the shipping. Okay? I'll put the links below. You can click there and you can get yours ordered. All right. Let me just say something real fast now. This is incredible information, but forced isolation may be the only way to stop the resurgence of this virus. According to MSN News, powered by Microsoft News, and the article written in Bloomberg News. Here's what it says. Flare-ups from Australia to Japan show the world hasn't learned an early lesson. From the coronavirus crisis to stop the spread, those with mild or symptom-free coronavirus infections must be forced to isolate both from their communities and their families. And I read this last night during our live broadcast where I was interviewing Mike from around the world. And it was incredible when he said Emergency Powers Act. Emergency Powers Act. Then he said there's going to be citizen containment, there's going to be forced isolation, and there's going to be relocation. So when I read this morning here again, I noticed it said that the forced isolation, both from communities and family. In Australia, where Victoria State has been reporting record deaths, some 3,000 checks last month on people who should have been isolated at home found that 800 of those people were out and about driving around and going places. In Japan, where the virus was roaring back, people are staying home but aren't in isolation. 40% of the elderly patients are getting sick from family members in the same apartments. So the failure to effectively, this is where it gets really, really scary. I mean scary. The failure to effectively manage contagious people with mild or no symptoms is a driving factor behind some of the world's worst resurgence, but lessons from Italy and South Korea and others that have successfully contained large-scale outbreaks show that there's a tried and tested approach to cutting off transmission. Move them out of their homes into centralized facilities while they get over their infections. In other words, you'll be isolated from your home, isolated from your community, and put into a centralized facility of the people who are infected. So everybody there will be infected, which usually doesn't require longer than a few weeks. Imagine being shipped off for a few weeks, isolated in some facility with other sick people. Now, this approach, trusting everyone to be responsible, has been shown to be ineffective, according to those that are studying the reports, as there will always be a portion who will breach the terms of the isolation, said Jeremy Lim, the adjacent professor of the National University of Singapore's Saw See Hock School of Public Health. So faced with this new cluster, which this week, after 102 days without locally transmitted cases, New Zealand has quickly enacted this strategy. All 17 people who have been contracted with the COVID, including 2 children below ages of 10, have been shipped off to centralized quarantine. They'll even take the children from the home. But other countries facing sustained spread, like Australia and the United States, are not broadly enacting this policy despite its proven track record. Their unwillingness or inability to do so underscores the challenge faced by liberal democracies whose populations are less likely to tolerate measures that require individual sacrifice for the greater good. The existence of a large group of carriers who hardly feel sick is a unique feature of the coronavirus crisis and a major factor that has driven the rapid spread across the globe. And unlike its previous outbreaks, like the 2003 SARS epidemic, many infected people don't feel ill enough to stay home, and so they spread the pathogen widely as they go about their daily lives. So the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, has estimated that 40% of the COVID-19 infections are asymptomatic. And in Wuhan, China, the Chinese city where the epidemic came from, where the coronavirus first emerged last year in late fall, November, mildly sick patients were originally turned away from hospitals and told to rest at home, given that the overwhelmed healthcare system needed to tend to the most secure cases. But health experts soon found that these people would infect their family members and others as they moved around in the community, participating in a deluge of cases. So this is unbelievable, guys. When I saw the headline, "Forced isolation may be the only way to stop the resurgence of the virus," I thought, oh no, here we go. You can't go here. But what I didn't realize, this was written by Bloomberg News and posted by MSN News, mainstream news, powered by Microsoft News. And then when I heard that New Zealand is actually doing this, and when I heard Mike from around the world last night say Emergency Powers Act. He said it 3 times and said, soon there will be citizen containment, there will be cities under containment, and there will be isolated quarantining in centralized locations, or for those that are sick, taken literally from the family, from your community, and put in a centralized location, facility, where people are already sick, away from your family and not able to leave until you're cleared. So guys, get ready. We are living in this is going to become something that no one thought was coming. No one. Except those of you who have studied the Bible. And you see that this very concept would become part of the last days. I'm not pushing any lies. I'm reading. Somebody just made a comment there, Paul Begley pushing lies. I'm reading a news article that's right now the top story on Drudge, and is posted by Bloomberg and all the other mainstream media. And Mike from around the world confirmed this last night in our live show. All I'm doing is just reading to you what probably 2 million people have already read, and then preparing you for whatever starts to happen. At least you will have been notified that this is the mentality. This is the accepted mentality of the health care professionals of the world. This is what they're thinking. And according to Mike around the world, this is what's going to be implemented. So I'm just giving you a heads up and reading it and telling you Jesus is coming. You want to give your life to Jesus Christ. You want to be sure you're saved and that Christ is coming, that you will be born again. You want to be sure you know Jesus as your Savior. I'll be back with more important current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We are certainly living. I didn't say, let me just say this one time, we're living in the last days. I didn't say I believe this. I'm just telling you that's what they are saying. That this is what they're saying is the only way to stop the virus. And that according to Mike, and New Zealand's already doing this, and according to Mike around the world, it's going to be done here as well. That's what he said last night. It's coming. He said, look at Emergency Powers Act. So God bless you guys. I love you guys. This is why you need to be informed of what's going on. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Thank you guys. Thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up. There's 1,100 people watching me live right now. This is a very important announcement, and I want you to prepare for it and understand it. Okay? That this is what they are thinking and what they are reporting and what they are starting to do in New Zealand, and they've already done it in other parts of the world. But this could become our new reality. God bless all of you. God bless all of you guys. I love all of you. God bless.